When I think about rock, when I think about stone, I think of something very special that takes me back to the beginning of time, to the beginning of all that is. Takes me back to creation itself, to the stories told to me by the elders, wondrous stories of creation, the wondrous creation of the universe and all that is. The cosmology of the Māori, Polynesian peoples, goes back into the place that they call the nothingness, the great void. And they say into the great void came the great sound, and out of the great sound came life and all that is. Of course, what was in the beginning was gases that shot through that space of nothingness into another place that we now call our galaxy and part of the great universe. But that song of creation, sent forth great balls of fire, gases, huge furnaces, the suns of the skies. And our sun that gives us warmth and is so important to life, the essence of life today, it was born of that time, born of that moment of creation. But around it, of course, there are the planets. And what happened in time, that those great balls of fire cooled. The sun still burns brightly, but other pieces in space, other great clouds of gas became planets. And in time, as that gas cooled, we got stone. We got a planet encrusted in stone with a molten fire inside. And we spin around that. It creates a special barrier, an electrical barrier that goes out into space that shields this planet Earth that is so special, so much, so important in the understanding of life. It shields us from lethal radioactivity that travels through space all the time. So we're shielded on this wondrous planet. And out of this wondrous stone, the firmament, the rock that shields within the planet, that is around everything, that makes it safe for us to be on top of that spinning ball of fire. Within that rock is embedded all that is necessary for the creation of life. That rock, that stone, has the building blocks of life. So when we think of that, it makes a great sense of what many of the indigenous people have said to me as I've gone to them in different parts of the planet. They've said, remember, stone is the first ancestor of human beings and the first ancestor of all life. And that is why in New Zealand, stone is honoured and the mountains are honoured, respected. The mana, the spiritual essence of the mountain and the rock, is respected. When we look at the mountains, the elders speak of the tupuna, the ancestors, the first ancestor, the stone. And within that stone there is still a soul. No matter how old the stone, it still has its own song that our scientists can hear today when they put it into special laboratories. And I've been in one of these laboratories and I've heard the stone singing that's still 300, or 3 million actually. No, let's revise that again. 300 million years ago. Stone from our Fiordland area, that ancient stone of 300 million years ago, is still singing its song. So it's an amazing thing when we think of stone. Out of stone came life and all that is. When I look at the trees and think, wow, they came out of the stone. I don't know how, but that's the whole process of life, the magic that is around us. When I look at the birds and the fish and the whales, when I think back to the beginning of life on this planet, when we go back to the single-celled creatures that became creatures of 2 cells and multiplied into 4 and 8 until human beings took their stride and walked in this place. So stone is all about remembering. Stone is about remembering where we come from and understanding the miracle of life, because stone held the building blocks of all that is.